Upbeat, slightly mysterious music starts, 0:15s. Hey, have you ever stopped to think about Halloween? I mean, beyond the candy, the costumes, and the spooky movies. What's it really all about? We dress up as ghouls and ghosts, carve faces into pumpkins, and send our kids out to beg for candy from strangers. It's kind of weird when you think about it, right? Well, the true story of Halloween is way older, stranger, and more fascinating than you might imagine. 1560s. Let's rewind the clock. Way back like 2,000 years. We're not in America, but in ancient Europe, specifically in the lands of the Celts. That's modern-day Ireland, the UK, and northern France. They celebrated a festival called Samhain, pronounced Samhain. This wasn't a party, it was a serious and deeply spiritual event. Samhain marked the end of summer and the harvest and the beginning of the dark, cold winter. For them, this time of year was associated with death. They believed that on the night of October 31st, the boundary between the world of the living and the world of the dead became blurred. 6120s. So what did that mean? It meant ghosts were back. The Celts believed the spirits of the dead returned to Earth on Samhain. Now this could be a good thing or a bad thing. Some spirits were friendly, maybe your beloved grandma coming back to say hi, but others, not so much. These were mischievous, sometimes malevolent spirits that could cause trouble, damage crops, and generally wreak havoc. To appease these spirits and their own gods, the Celtic priests known as Druids would build huge sacred bonfires. People would gather to burn crops and animals as sacrifices. And here's where the costumes come in. They would wear costumes, typically consisting of animal heads and skins, to disguise themselves from the harmful spirits. They figured if you looked like a scary spirit yourself, the real ones would just leave you alone. Clever, right? 12180s. Okay, so that's the ancient spooky origin. But how did this pagan festival get to the United States and turn into the billion-dollar industry it is today? Fast forward to the 8th century. The Catholic Church is growing in power and influence. They have a classic strategy. If you can't beat them, join them. Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as a time to honor All Saints, calling it All Saints' Day. The evening before it, October 31st, became known as All Hallows' Eve. Hallow is just an old word for saint or holy person. So All Hallows' Eve, Halloween. See? The church was trying to replace the pagan Samhain with a church-sanctioned holiday. But old habits die hard, and many of the Samhain traditions, like bonfires and dressing up, simply got mixed in with the new holiday. 180-240s. Now let's jump across the pond to America. In the colonial days, Halloween wasn't a big deal, especially in the strict Protestant communities of New England. But things changed in the mid-19th century. Millions of Irish immigrants fleeing the potato famine came to America, and they brought their Halloween traditions with them. They brought the pranks, the ghost stories, and, importantly, the tradition of carving vegetables. Originally, they carved scary faces into turnips and potatoes to ward off evil spirits. But when they got to America, they found a new, bigger, and much easier vegetable to carve, the pumpkin. And thus, the jack-o'-lantern as we know it was born, 290s. By the early 20th century, Halloween had become a nationwide community celebration. The whole trick-or-treating thing became popular as a way to control the pranks, which were getting a little out of hand. The idea was to give kids a treat so they wouldn't play a trick on you. It was a community-wide bribe, basically, and from there it just exploded. Candy companies, costume makers, and Hollywood saw an opportunity, and they commercialized the heck out of it, turning it into the massive sugar-fueled pop culture-driven festival we celebrate today, 290-300s. So this year, when you're carving that pumpkin or putting on your costume, remember you're not just getting ready for a party,